We good recording live? Well, not technically live, but I'm going to be posting this right after this. Welcome everyone. Main title of this video and main focus of this video is step one of the wheel strategy that I've been teaching, and I've dropped a full due diligence report. The time now is 9:27 Perth Standard Time in Western Australia. So we're about to hit live the US market open time before we get into training the wheel. And I know I wanted this video to be about the wheel. We've got some breaking news and we'll throw in a market portfolio update. The breaking news is, where is it? I'm not used to this trading app yet. I've always used Interfactory Brokers, but I haven't used this version. AMD 35% pre-market. So we're going to get a front row seat. AMD's popped off. If you haven't been watching the news, it's fucking just gone bonkers. They've signed a deal with OpenAI. And as you know, if you've seen my previous episodes, look at this pre-market. Pre-market is pie in the sky. Look at that pre-market line. It's opening, it's popping big time. 38% pre-market. So this is just breaking news too. So AMD has signed a deal with OpenAI, basically the father company of ChatGPT. And it's a solid deal, and it's something like certain gigawatts or trigawatts or whatever you call it of chips over the next 6 years, and in return OpenAI gets some options on AMD, but the options are massive. It's like 10%, but those options, the strike price on those options, it's not an option in the common sense like us, it's more of a warrant. Think of it as an option, but the strike price for those options are, fuck, this is crazy, is $600 a share. Share price is only at, well, pre-market it's at 226, but before this trading day it was only at 164. I was bagging AMD. Remember I was going on about how I'm going to sell it because it was underperforming. Well, I wasn't going to sell it, but I was going to sell it if it had dropped to below 20% loss. And at my worst, I was down about 12%. Within a day, I'm up 35% pre-market. And we want to watch live the open for AMD, and then we'll get into starting our wheel strategy. So that begins by selling a cash secured put, and we've decided to go for Snapchat. Watch my previous video on the wheel. Sorry if I'm not paying too much attention. I'm looking at the clock, and I'm going to see this open live, and I'm just waiting to see that bar and see exactly where AMD opens at. But we're at 226, which is a 37, and bang, we're live. Sitting at 226. It's going to be volatile. The first couple of minutes, you're going to see this fucking thing swing all over the place. Could go up, could go down. Okay, seems like it's dropping straight away. Oh, still holding court at 35% gain. So look, 35 may be the high of the day, honestly, because that's a huge trend. You're going to get a lot of people taking profits. So I don't really know where. In days like this, when you get a violent gap, that's a 35 gap. Most people can't trade pre-market anyway. I think you can get permission to, but for traders like us, usually you can't. So you'll have a heaps of people probably trying to take profits right away. No, and it's seeing they've got a 34% jump in one day, because that's popping it at all-time highs. If we scroll back, yeah. So AMD's basically hit all-time highs. We did get a peak back in February. So you're going to get a bunch of profit taking, but you never know, see how we go. So yeah, I'm just going to see a little bit of price action, and then we'll get into the crux of today's video, all right? Exciting times for me, because AMD was my worst performer. I've got 6 in our little slush fund challenge, 6 stocks or 6 positions. Yeah, 6 positions. And AMD was really letting us down. Reddit just fucking been shit lately. Still good, man. I've got to be grateful. I'm up 30% on Reddit. I don't know why. I like to complain about that, but anyway, yeah, hasn't been great. At Daily PN, it wasn't right. I don't know why. showing like that because the daily move is like 30%. I need to mess around with this is a new version of Interactive Brokers. It's not the trader workstation, it's like a desktop app version. Anyway, we'll get a little bit more price action and then I'm gonna stop messing around and get into today's video. Yeah, I reckon hard to see. I reckon that open was probably the peak of what we might see today. You might see a slight retraction, just people taking profits in generally, but in general it'll just keep going up. I reckon you're going to see it's a massive turning stone event for AMD because it's been like a, you know how you got Coke versus Pepsi. I kind of see Nvidia versus AMD in a similar way, and AMD's a good stock. They've got some great products, right? But they just haven't really staked that claim, and they haven't had the validity. I can't even pronounce that word right. They haven't had like the recognition that they kind of deserve, right? And this deal is basically OpenAI is massive, and they're basically saying the chips are good enough for us. The GPUs are good enough for us, and for us is probably the most advanced forefront on the AI front on Earth today. So it kind of gives that signature for the product and say, no, AMD is here. The GPUs are the best in the world and they will stay around. So I think we see over the next 4 years, AMD continues to climb. Probably it's going to slowly edge its way up. Wouldn't even be surprised if we edge our way up to a $1,000 handle over the next sort of 4 years. But yeah, so that's AMD. Yeah, we're going to be real volatile in the next few days, man. Like, I don't know where this is going to go. It'll still stay above these levels where it was before, definitely. But we're in no man's land here. We're really going to range bound around. Who knows, man? Who knows? But cool, that's AMD. A Moza update. When I'm talking about the portfolio, we're almost back to all-time highs. We dipped off quite a bit. If we go back, shorten the view period a bit. I wasn't going to do a port update until something significant happened, but something went wrong. 12.6 was our all-time high, and at the moment we're at 12.605. No, 12.614. Yeah, I think 12.614, and at the moment we're 12.650, so we've done it. Round of applause. Porter's back to all-time high, officially. Awesome. We took a little week off there. And the week was... Reddit's still manhandling me. Fucking so pissed about Reddit, man. Oh. It only went down because there was like some stupid rumor that... so Reddit charges AI software like ChatGPT to scalp and scrape all the data on Reddit, you know, all the conversations and everything like that. I think a report or a study came out that last month or something like that, it used ChatGPT scraped less data than what it usually does. The thing is I also seen like it also scraped less data from another source, so it was like comparative. So it was like, well, it didn't just scrape less data from Reddit. It scraped less data from other sources as well. So I was kind of like, is this a big deal? Does this signify a 25% drop? Don't think so, man. Like, it wasn't even like an official thing. It's just like, yeah, someone said that OpenAI, that ChatGPT scraped a little bit less off Reddit last month or something. Like, how dumb is that? And then a 25% drop. So I don't think it's warranted. Honestly, Reddit's not going anywhere. And guess where all this was spoken about and discussed? Yeah, you guessed it, on fucking Reddit. So anyway, it's just annoying. I'm overly weighted on Reddit way too much, so it swings my portfolio around badly and it kind of bothers me a bit. But yeah, so that's how we're going. I'm still gravy on LEU sitting around an 80% gain, looking good. UNH, 46% gain, and all these gains are within about 6 weeks. I didn't start building this portfolio until about maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago, but probably not even that, 6-7 weeks. So these gains are the port is pumping. It is doing really well. So yeah, nailing it. And now we're going to add the next thing, which is the wheel strategy. Okay, before we wheel, I'm going to cut a position. I've decided I'm going to cut Apple. And I'll show you my Apple trade, and we'll just get into why, and then we'll start off this wheel. Okay, so I got into an Apple position at you know what? I need to practice using this new app. I'm not going to use a new app on the fucking... I'm not going to like learn to use a new app while I'm trying to record as well. It's just a bad idea. I don't know why I've done that. I'm just going to go to the OG website, which I know how it works. Just sign on my phone. Sorry, do the authentication on my phone. And yeah, we'll get this position sorted, and we will, I'll get into step 1 of how to set up a wheel strategy. Yeah, that looks more familiar with me. We'll just wait for that to load. All right, so let's look at Apple. We're going to take care of Apple, and we're going to cut it from our positions. So here's our Apple position here. That just changed it for the US dollars. So we're about I think it's about a 300 Australian dollar gain, I think, something like that, which is nice. It's about a 17.7% return. We only got into this position about 14 weeks ago, so this is more of a swing trade. So if we look at that as a 218 handle, and we're at 256 now. So I got in around... What did I say? 218 was the average price. So look, 218. So about there. And I told myself when I got into this trade, because look, I could hold Apple forever. I mean, it's not a big deal. And if I had the money in my port and I didn't need to make space, I'd just hold this position. But it's not like a huge growth stock, you know. Apple's not gonna run my port all the way up to $1 million, is it? It's like a stock you'd probably want to own with some size. If you had a nice big port, 50k plus, something like that, and you'd go in with some size. But for me, I under here, when Apple did drop down, I was thinking, look, it's ripening for a purchase, and I purchased it. We're up almost 20%. It's reached its all-time highs. Time to get out. I've got a better trade in mind. I'm going to start wheeling Snapchat. So yeah, we're going to close Apple right now. All right. 5 shares, let's remember that. So we want to sell. Yeah, if you go close, it just automatically closes the whole position. We want to do a limit order. We want to limit price. We've got the bid and we've got the ask. So when you're looking at bid ask, you're selling, right? I'm closing this position, so I want to sell at the highest price possible. The spread is so tight. But I want to get close to this ask, which is 256.54. Here I'm limited at 256.645464. So what I like to do is let's just go in for that, and I'll start bringing it down if I want to get out. Let's just chuck it in. Confirm mandatory price cap to avoid. I'm on a limit anyway to avoid price. Order has been submitted. Get it in, and this is how I tend to do it, is modify a bit. So 256.22, I'm going to bring that down because I have no patience. Honestly, if I had the patience, I would sit and wait for it to come to me. It's fucking running away. How's that luck, isn't it? Bro, come on. 256. I find, if you're interested, honestly, the Interactive Brokers app on the phone, I love trading off that. It just feels better. Fuck, I don't have time for this. Make the sale before I hit a market order. If I'm trading at some size, man, and not a small position, I would be way more disciplined with this trade. But what am I going to lose? A couple bucks from getting a bad fill? Bro, the price is running away from me. 256. Come on, 256. Yeah, gone. Done. Let's go back to port. All right, we sold Apple. It's gone. We should have a realized. Here we go, realized P&L. So we got a $284 profit from that one. That was a tiny position too. So anyway, we're good. We freed up some capital. We should now have excess liquidity. Yeah, excess liquidity has pumped up to 5,700, which is good. That's what I wanted. I wanted to drop my margin because I'm trading on a bit of leverage at the moment. It was at 1.8. I did want to drop that down because I'm going to start wheeling now. And I wanted some space in the portfolio for that. Fucking Reddit is just going down more and more. Fuck's sake, eh? Bro, I'm going to cry. I was up 75% a week ago on Reddit. 75%. This here was like $4,000. It's killing me. You're fucking killing me. But just by luck though, ILIU has come in to really save the day, and UNH and AMD. SPY's doing alright as well. So that's kind of balanced it out. That's why we're still at all-time highs. But broski, man, fucking always got to be one, doesn't it? Always got to be one. That's painful. It was up 70% a couple of weeks ago. All right, enough of the talk. We're going to start wheeling Snapchat. That's what I decided I'm going to do, so we're going to do it. Okay, if you've skipped the video to this part, cool. Let's get into wheeling. So first of all, we want to wheel Snapchat. Let's have a quick look. Snap's down today. Don't give a shit. Down, cool. We're going to start wheeling. Probably good. I'd probably rather, because to start a wheel, you got to start off by selling a cash secured put. So you got to start off by selling put contracts, okay? And you wait till you get assigned. Now, because selling a put contract's a bullish position, technically, right? Doing it on a down day is cool. It's just like buying shares on a red day. It's fine. You're buying at a discount. So that's fine. Don't mind. We're going to have a look at potential class action lawsuit has been filed against Snapchat. Oh, so I'm going to do it anyway. So my whole thing was like, I done a whole due diligence report on how to wheel and what you should look for, and it came down to like, make sure it's a good stock you want to own. I don't want to own Snapchat. It is not a good stock. Its balance sheet is trash. I'm doing it because I'm sticking to this challenge where I have a small port and I'm trying to grow it. Now, wheeling, you have to have enough money in your brokerage account to own 100 shares at least of the underlying asset. I'm left with scraps to find something to wheel that's that cheap of a share price. I'm left with dud stocks. Another one was Ford Motors, better stock than Snapchat. You know, I think they're obviously profitable, I'm pretty sure. IV's low and you're getting paid completely fuck all for the option premium. Snap's juicy, they've got an earnings coming up and they've got potential bankruptcies. But this is why I say, look, ideally wheeling things, big stocks, you know, Nvidia, Apple, AMD, things like that would make 100 times more sense than what I'm doing. But I'm going to do it for the fun of it and as a teaching method to teach I was going to say course, but it's just really a free course that you can find on my website of how to wheel a stock. And I'm going to show step by step real live trading and wheeling on Snapchat. And I think Snapchat's going to be a good candidate to do it because you're really going to see highs and lows. This thing's going to swing. I mean, look at last earnings. We got a negative 17% in one day. So violent swinging, negative 12 here. And we've got an earnings coming up. So this is going to be fantastic. Maybe not good for me, but anyway. But I'm staying small. The losses aren't going to be massive. I mean, I'm staying small anyway. Okay, so here's something. We have an earnings date coming up on the 28th of October. I'm going to write that down because we are going to target selling the contract after that earnings announcement. So 28th of OCT. I'm going to remember that. We're going to target puts as close as post earnings. The reason is the IV is going to be really, really high. It's high because the earnings is going to cause extreme volatility, right? But we're going to make good option premium. And if we said we're going to wheel, makes sense. If you're going to wheel, you're going to wheel. So if you're going to wheel, pick days with higher option premium. Probably makes more sense. And if we get a sign, we get a sign. We've already set up. We've already committed to a set of rules. We've already committed to potentially owning the stock. So it is what it is. I'm also going to do a bit of research on this. I like this for general research. It's awesome. And what we can do is you can go straight in and click short put. That's what we're going to be doing. And we need to find the delta too, actually. Well, let's punch it in here and we'll look for the right contract. So let's look for Snap. I'm going to go to the options chain. Okay. Yeah, whatever. All right, so we want to be looking for, I said October 28th is the next earnings. So October 24th would be pre-earnings. October 31st would be post. Now, if you look at this IV here where the mouse is, it's at if you can see it, it's at 81.9% IV today. I'll show you pre and I'll show you post earnings and you should see the IV change. So this is pre-earnings. 68.9%, it actually goes down. This should be post earnings. We should see an increased IV. 89.4, so it does jump up. I wonder what this one is. Because here, like that, because it's got that those two dashes, looks like a approximation symbol. That means they think the estimated earning date is the 28th. So I'm thinking that that's not updated. And here, where are we? Here, that the earnings date is around here. Because why is that IV higher than that one? Let's look at 39 days out. And it drops back down. Okay, so the earnings might actually be past that date. It doesn't matter too much whether we're the closest one post earnings or a bit further out. We just want to be the highest IV because that's going to pay you the most option premium. 92, and it should start trailing off. 81, that's it. So I have a feeling that they're 28th of October. Yeah, that could be wrong. Again, TradingView tends to update that as it gets on. I would probably trust this IV level at the most. Man, even if you don't trust it, the rules are you still at higher IV. So it's this contract, this expiration date here, which is right on. Remember I said we want to be 30 to 45 DTE. So we're targeting this higher IV. All right, now we want delta, because I'm on the web version. That's why I like the phone version. We don't have delta available, but we can go ahead and manually check. So we want to be selling. I'm pretty good at guessing deltas without seeing it. Let's see if I'm right. We're at 835 here. I'm thinking it's a 7.5. That's the close. We're going to go for as close to 30 delta as possible. I think it's going to be the 7.5 or the 7. Let's look at 7.5. Oh, mate. Come on. Bro. 30.142 delta. I told you I'm the king at guessing deltas. Unbelievable clutch guess. So that's our puppy there. That's our contract. Yeah, let's have a squiz at the nearby contracts and sort of see what deltas they're giving out. 22. And you can see 22, you get a higher probability of profit if you're on the sell side of that contract too. So we've got a 77% probability of profit on that one. I said 7.5. Let's look at the 8. The 8's given a 38. Obviously the 38, you're going to get more premiums. Here you get $78, but you get a lesser probability of profit, which is 69. Juicier premium, 38's not criminal. It's still a 38 if you want. It's just a higher likelihood of assignment. I'm going to do 2 contracts as well. That's what I budgeted for. So let's see what 2 contracts gives us. There's a 156 premium. 69 probability of profit is not bad, but we're pushing it a little bit on the delta side. A little bit. See how that flipped? Or did that flip because I doubled the contract? No, I don't think it flipped. I think it's because it multiplies. Yeah, oh sorry. I'll keep it at 1. So, but just know at 2 that doubles. That's kind of annoying. I would just rather it stay at whatever the delta for 1 contract is. It's kind of a pain. Yeah, so we are going between that contract. Look, let's stick by the rules here. Part of me, I'm just so greedy when it comes to premium. Let's play by the book, eh? We said we're going to do this. 29 delta, 54 premium. We're going to do 2 contracts. All right, that's our puppy here. Oh, I should have actually brought up my spreadsheet. It's the same spreadsheet that I've given you guys for free. Give me a second, I'll bring it up. DD wheel logbook. All right, so over here we've got max loss of 1387. We can say that's our starting capital. We can run with that. Starting capital might move around, but 1387. I'm going to punch that in now. Starting capital 1387, and that's going to stay like that because I'm going to continue to wheel 2 contracts. Let me get rid of all this stuff because I only put that in there as an example. Okay, 138.87. I'll pump that aside for a second. Let's refresh this one more time, see if the quote's changed, and then let's get it on a position a little bit. We've dropped down $1, 73% probability, about a 30 delta. Leave it as 1 contract, I think, and then you go to the next screen. Let's have a look. And you can double it up to 2. This is all different. I am used to doing this on my phone. I apologize, guys, but I really want to make... maybe I have to choose it here. This is annoying. It's a bit different from what I'm used to. 7.5 put, November 7th, 32 DTE. Just getting a little bit of concentration here. The break even is 6.97. So you would need the share price to drop to 6.97. 2 contracts. Let's go for it. Yeah, this is what I'm after. I don't know why I went to that screen. Okay. Quantity 2, we want a limit order. 0.53 is the medium. Should we sit on the ask? Because we're going short a contract. So what you want to do is sell it for as much money as you possibly can. It's a tight spread, actually. Let's go for 0.55 and see how we go. For the day, I'll adjust it if I have to. I don't really want to chase, I just kind of want to get in. Anyway, yes, this is what I mean by option volume as well. See how tight that spread is? That's what we're after. Okay, 2 contracts, limit order, 0.55, let's hit it. Order has been submitted. Shall I be impatient and just go in and get the fill? Let's drop a cent down. Oh, look, I was originally quoted at 5.3 anyway, so $1 more. Like, is it worth this fucking bargaining? Let's go for that. See if we get it. Come on. Come on. What I would do if I'm not filling videos, just so you know, I will drive hard bargains, man. Like, I'll just sit on this bid for half an hour, leave it overnight, go to sleep. And I would tend to do things like that because I'm filming. I don't want to like waste. Fuck it, I'm going in the middle. 5.3. I don't want to waste people's time too much. So I'm kind of chasing the bid-ask spread around a little bit. That's what it is, a couple dollars. Well, I'm sitting on the original quoted price anyway, so it's not a big deal, but I don't want to have to wait too long and yeah, on this position. It's crazy. Remember when I first clicked on Snap like literally 5 minutes ago and it was down by 3%? It's bounced back up. So if we had actually sold it back here, that would have bounced up and we would have turned profit already. But that's irrelevant. We're not really going to sell it, but that's why it's playing cat and mouse a little bit on the spread. It's because it's hopping around. Yeah, that 5.3 is probably fucking me too. We'll go 5.2 and we'll get it. Yeah, done. We're in. So we got in at 5.2. Let's hit our port. Here we go. Let's double check our work. Okay, so Snapchat, we sold the 0.75 put November 7th. So November 7th is, oh, sorry, I'm just actually, I tell you what, I'm just going to move screens around for a second so you can see what I'm trying to do on the spreadsheet here. So this is what I want you guys to do if you're new to wheeling, all right? We want to log these trades so we can track our P&L. So the date is the 6th of the 10th. The strike, we got a 7.5 strike. The days to expiration was 33, or you can just put the expiration date, to be honest, which is what I'm going to do, which is November 7th. I'll just do a date. Let's make sure that's in the date. Yeah. Small caveat, my date is in Australian version, not US. So the days and months are the other way around. So that's the 7th of November. It's about a 33 DTE. We got in a delta of 29. IV, what did we say IV was? Like 102? Yeah, 102 IV. Premium received was, I'm just having a look at that now. Cost basis was 103. So we received 103 in premium. Hopefully I did set up your spreadsheet the same as that. I'll drag that down later. So yeah, 103 premium. Okay, and here short put, short call, we're short put. So first trade and the wheel has begun. So we've got 33 days to expiration. You know what, let's just do 33. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, 33. We have 33 days to expiration and we sold a 29 delta put contract, had an IV of 102. Let's just keep a mental note that IV is high and it's because it's around earnings time. It's just after earnings. We done 2 contracts and we received $103 in premium. Now, to gauge whether you're receiving a lot of premium or not so much, just look down here. That premium was 7% of the total amount of capital that we have at risk. and that's for 30 days worth, so about a month. So you've basically done 7% a month. Look at this, a mathematician using a calculator. 7 times 12 is 84%. So if you never got striked out, which is very unlikely, and you every 30 days you continue to sell, I continue to sell these put contracts because I never got assigned, meaning the underlying share price never finished below the stock price, and I managed to do that for 12 months in a row and keep cycling around. It's about a 84% return. So that's not bad. But look, we are going to get assigned eventually. It's bound to happen. And when we do get assigned, remember, we'll get assigned those shares because I've got 2 lots, 2 shares. I will get assigned 200 shares of Snapchat. Now, 200 shares of Snapchat is, current snap price is $8.39. You're about $1,600 because if we go 8.39, if it was one lot, it would be, or one contract, it would be 834. But I've got 2, so it's about 1,674 US dollars. Remember that this is in US dollars. Aussie dollars maybe about 240, or sorry, 2,400. So let's keep that in mind. I've created the space in the portfolio to afford that sort of drop if that was to happen. And now something else we want to have a look at is sort of our blanket to strike. And what I mean is, what it'll tell you actually, I think we'll have a break-even point somewhere. Maybe it doesn't tell you. Oh, here we go, break-even. So break-even, I'm going to write that down, is 6.98. 6.98 break-even. Let's bring up my spreadsheet. I'll just do a little bit of math on the side here. So 6.98. Current share price of Snapchat is 8.38. We're going to work out how much down the line we'll need to drop for us to lose money on the specific strategy. So to do that, it's an equals. We can just do it like this. We'll go that minus that under, doesn't really matter. Okay. For us to lose money on this specific stretch of a strategy, we would need Snapchat to drop 20%. So we effectively have right now a 20% safety net. It's kind of a crazy thing to think about, isn't it? I just sold 2 contracts. The amount doesn't matter, even if it was 1, you just still have 20%. And for me to lose money, Snapchat is going to have to drop by 20% by expiration date. That sounds high, doesn't it? Now it's high because you have earnings. If earnings are bad, that is very, very possible. Look at last earnings. We had a 17% drop. So that is a possible scenario. Nice little, it is kind of still a nice safety net, right? And let's also think about our strike. So our strike is 750. Yep, 750. So let's do a strike line. And let me set this up at 750. Fuck, that was close. Cool. That's our strike. And let's measure how far we are away from our strike. I'll just do a long position, doesn't really matter. Let's set that up at the current share price. Let's drag that down. So we're at a 10% gap from the strike. So for you to receive 100% of your premium, for me to walk away with that, what was it, 105 or something? The share price can finish anywhere in this range. It can go up as much as it wants, sideways, and it can go down by 10%. So long as it finishes at 751, I keep 100% of that premium. Then I get to sell another put contract, and I'll just do this again and again and again until eventually the share price drops below this line or below wherever the strike is at that time. And then I get assigned the shares, and then I move on to step 2, which is starting to sell call contracts against those assigned shares. Okay, hopefully that made sense. And you can look at the position. We can set this up now as well. So we went November 7th and we sold a 7.5. This is delayed a little bit, so it's not the most recent market data because Snap is at 841 and that's showing 847. Anyway, this is the P&L of the short put position we're in, and we can even increase the contracts too to match what we were short. Yeah, we got 2 contracts. Close enough. Not accurate, but close enough. Yeah, so that's similar position to what we're in. And you can sort of see the scenarios. And my calculation is spot on because if you see how I'm moving the mouse and there's the share price. By the way, this dotted line is the current share price. This blue line here is the break even. And you can see as I'm moving that, it has a dollar amount, which I think is just the share price. Yeah, the share price. Then in brackets is the percentage from the current price. So it's percentage from this dashed line is the share price today, which is at 847 currently. And this is, for example, 9.8% above the current share price. So this break even is spot on, pretty much spot on our calculation, which means our break even is 20%. So the share price would have to drop by 20% for us to lose money on these short put contracts. But you can see like what's the worst case, you know, if it drops by 25%, how much money am I going to be lose? Let's say we get a stinker of an earnings and we get a 50% plummet. I'm going to lose about $530. Well, yeah, paper loss. Basically, I'm going to be forced to buy shares at the strike, which was $7.50. But then what's going to happen is, yeah, I buy the shares at $7.50, but the current share price is down 50%. So the current share price would be, where's 50? $4.22. So you can see there's a big gap there. So the P&L on my brokerage platform would immediately be in the red. But it's a long play. I then am going to start selling call contracts against those shares as well. And I'm going to continue to do this. And as you accumulate premium over these cycles, even if the stock's down 50%, you can actually make up for those losses. All right, so yeah, one more look at our port. Everything's good. We're wheeling. How are we with margin? Okay, margin. That took fuck all of my margin, honestly. I could up those contracts a lot, but yeah, they didn't. That's weird. I would have thought they would have asked for a lot more margin on that one, eh? But no, because I think it was like at 5.7 excess liquidity, which is the cash I have left to play with before that. But now it's like pretty much the same. Are you teasing me, Interactive Brokers? You want me to fucking go all in, don't you? You want me to put in more. You do, don't you? You want me to go 4 contracts. 4 contracts is $200. 8 contracts is 400. 400 passive income a month. But I won't do that. No, we'll stick to the game plan, all right? All right, that'll do. That's the wheel set up. The wheels are in motion. We're good. We do nothing now. We just wait until expiration, which is in 30 days' time. Let me save that, which is in 30 days' time, and see if we get assigned. If you don't get assigned, sell more put contracts. If you do get assigned, great. You now own shares of Snapchat. Start selling call contracts. And around the wheel we go. So I'll do an update on each leg of this wheel. So the next update will be on assignment day. And it's either going to be I'm assigned and I want to show you how to sell calls against that stock. Or it's going to be I didn't get assigned. Great. I kept all this premium, the whole $103. And then I'm going to sell them again. And we're going to keep doing it. And that's my first log in my logbook here. Good thing about this is let's say you get 24 wheels in. You could start to figure out what kind of IVs were more successful, what deltas, what DTEs, and it's fun because you are now a systematic trader. You are now like you're still an amateur. I mean, I'm an amateur, but you're trading in a professional way, and it's quite exciting to do, man. And honestly, a wheel is quite safe if you stick to some rules. All right, let's get rid of that. That's logged. One last look at our port. Let's have one. Let's see it check back up on AMD, see how that was going. I told you, didn't I? Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that open was really high, and we're probably going to get a drop from there, opening at plus 35%. Going to get a lot of like taking profit. Makes sense. But overall, AMD will probably just have a volatile week. Then I think it's just going to keep chugging away and keep heading up, my honest opinion. Let's have a look at our other holdings. I can't believe I was up by 70%. Criminal, man. Criminal. Way up high in the sky here, then whoosh, right back down. I got on about here. That's so sad. Anyway, yeah, we got earnings coming up in about a month's time. And that it's going to be fun. Hopefully it's good. I think it's going to be good. If you want a position on Reddit, it's probably a good time to get in. Probably. Okay, that'll do. Let's just do LEU one more. Fucking my little baby LEU. Honestly, never lets me down. Just fucking keeps pressing forward. UNH is another one I'm still holding. Slightly chugging away, you know. I reckon UNH is honestly due for a decent step up. I'm talking a 5% gain. That's my thoughts. And we're long SPY. SPY I'm not doing much with. I'm literally buying the dip on SPY, but we haven't had any big dips lately. And one last look at Snap. Has it gone up since we sold? Yeah. So if Snap goes up, it's better for us. Here's our Snap position here. But yeah, even if Snap doesn't go up, because we are a long fader, you'll notice yourself that turning a profit even if the share price doesn't go up as the day-to-day goes past because of our long fader position. All right, let's end the video there. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two about the wheel strategy. I'll post a link in the comment section to my full report on step-by-step guide on how to trade the wheel. And yeah, you can refer to this part as step 1 is the wheel and a bit of a portfolio update as well and good news of AMD. Thanks for watching everyone and thank you for your support as well.